and welcome back to The Happy Artist. So in my last video, I gave you some prompts to use with ChatGPT to help you uncover your passions and just to get that spark back in your life, visualizing your dream life, what it might look like. So I hope you had a chance to play around with it and use the different prompts. And maybe you found a few passions that you weren't expecting, and who says you have to pick one? You can be a midnight poet, you can be a weekend gardener, you can be a coffee-loving storyteller, whatever feels right for you. But keep exploring, because you are way more interesting than you give yourself credit for. Today I want to show you how to take that dream or your passion or your interest, even if it feels like it's inaccessible right now, and turn it into a very clear and achievable path. Using ChatGPT, of course, as your personal guide. But I'll use the example of becoming a children's book author because that is another one of my secret passions. But what you can do is just replace in the prompts children's book author with whatever your interest is. So just follow the same process as me, but just swap out the subject and you will get your own custom roadmap. So let's go from dreaming to doing. So let's imagine for a moment that you want to write a children's book. Maybe it was something that your child said that sparked an idea. Maybe you want to pass on some of your worldly advice. Maybe you just want to pass on some positivity. But then the voice kicks in. I'm not trained in formal writing. I'm not creative enough. Even if I did write it, what are the next steps I can take? And this is where people get stuck and then they don't even start. But the truth is, you don't need to figure all of it out alone. You can just do it in very small steps. ChatGPT can act like your mentor, and it will start with where you're at. If you are an absolute beginner, it will start there. But it will guide you step by step and helping you to build confidence and structure and momentum. So let's jump into asking the right questions. So we're here in ChatGPT, and I realized as I thought I was recording, I was not actually recording. So all of my prompts were already in there. I've spoken to you already about this, but I'm going to start again. So the first prompt that I have is, I want to become a children's book author, but I have no experience. Can you give me a clear roadmap with steps I can follow over the next 3 to 6 months? So obviously you're going to replace children's book author with whatever your passion is. And when I put this in, it will break down month by month, foundation and research. So it's starting at the basics. So the goal is to understand the children's book industry and start generating ideas, understand the market, choose your niche, idea generation. Then month 2, writing your first draft, learning the craft, writing a draft or revise your story. Month 3 to 4, feedback, editing, dummy book. So get feedback, join Facebook groups, revision, storyboarding, dummy book. It gives you so much detail. And month 5, illustrations and formatting, beginner commission illustrations. If you're hiring an illustrator, it will talk you through that process, your tools that you need to use. Month 6, publishing prep. So it goes right in there. So you're going to jump right ahead. And if you do get overwhelmed, maybe you shouldn't jump to month 6 straight away. Start at month 1, break it down into smaller bite size. If I were you, I would do month 1 and I would try and break it down into weekly, what you can get done per week. And even per day. So depending how you work, but if you look too far ahead, it could turn you off doing it, because obviously we all are full of fears. So this will lead us to our prompt number 2, because it is all about our self-limiting beliefs. So what are some common limiting beliefs people have about becoming a children's book author, and how can I overcome them? So number 1, I'm not a real writer. Belief, I don't have formal training, I've never published anything, and who am I to write a book? So it actually will tell you what the fear is, and it will show you how to reframe it and how to overcome it. So you don't need credentials, you need connection. Children's publishing is about heart, voice, and insight. So this is actually really good, because this is something that people would never think about asking a bot, but actually it is so enlightening, because it's taking so much information and showing us fears that everyone faces. So when you read them out loud, you're like, oh, I'm not on my own. Okay, this is good. So number 2, there are already too many children's books. Why would anyone read mine? Now I definitely have this thought. The market is saturated. If I hear that one more time. So the reframe on this belief of the market is saturated. No one has your voice, your perspective, your story. Kids are constantly growing, and new generations need fresh stories told in new ways. So this is amazing, because it is showing you that your unique voice is going to lead down a different path than somebody else's. Number 3, I'm not good enough at drawing, writing to publish. So my skills aren't at professional level, that's your belief. But to reframe that, good enough is often more than enough, especially if your story has heart. So it will actually tell you in detail how to overcome these. Number 4, it's too expensive and hard to self-publish. Belief, I don't have the money or the tech skills to get a book out there. And reframe, publishing is more accessible now than ever, and there are flexible paths to fit any budget. So gone are the days where you have to go with publishing house. You can do self-publishing, ebooks, PDF, you can go with Amazon. Number 5, I'm afraid of being judged. So what if people think my story is silly or not good enough? Judgment, unfortunately, is part of putting yourself out there. So this is a really common fear, and as we all know, we're humans, and I know humans judge. But I really do believe if you put yourself out in a really genuine way, and you're vulnerable, you really will draw the right people to you and the right community. And I don't think that you will be subject to all of that criticism or judgment that you feel you might be in your head. It always feels much worse and when we actually do it, we're like, that wasn't so scary. So judgment is part of putting your creativity out there, but so is connection, joy, and making a difference. And I will tell you how to overcome this. I don't have time, another huge one for all of us, because who does have time? I'm already juggling work, family, etc. So you don't need huge blocks of time, just consistent, intentional focus. So it'll tell you how to overcome this. And again, it's breaking it down into kind of very small actionable steps. Write for 15 to 30 minutes a day or batch content once a week. Use voice notes or brainstorm while walking or doing chores. So this is one I love anytime I'm out walking. If I do come up with an idea or have something that I don't want to forget, I'll just click on my voice notes and listen to it later. Treat it like your creative me time instead of just another task. So if you feel like this is something you have to do, you probably won't do it. So if it's something that you enjoy, you can say, this is for me, you'll be excited and you will make the time. Final tip, write this down and keep it visible. The only thing separating me from becoming a children's book author, or whatever you're going to put in here, is consistent action. So I really like that one. So prompt number 3 is all about finding your unique voice. So what are some ways I could combine my life experience, personality, and values into the type of children's books I create? So draw from your life experience, and it's telling me my journey from Ireland to Switzerland, books about changing or moving, helping kids navigate transitions. So it's going to take your life experiences. You might have to feed it some more information depending on how you're working with it, if you've given it prompts already. But even if you break it down and give a very vague at the start, and you can add to that, but just what your experience is, where you're working, what you're doing. So this is all about using your own life experience and how to bring this to your project, to your dream, to your passion. So wherever you're working, just feed ChatGPT as much information as possible, and it will help you guide and use your experience then to take the next steps. My creativity, as a self-taught artistry, create books that celebrate creativity, experimentation, and imperfection. So encourage kids to embrace their artistic side. This was a huge challenge for me, and still is. Being a self-taught artist, I've been questioning myself and just how I overcame that. They're the same thoughts and fears that children will have as well. So maybe I could write a children's picture book all about that and overcoming these challenges as well. But being a parent is going to give you so many ideas, I'm sure, for different books. Stories that touch on emotional intelligence, resilience, parent-child connection. So if you're a parent, you're going to know and you're going to see how your children navigate the world, how they're going to be taking on challenges and their emotional resilience to things. And so story idea, Jack and the Invisible Backpack. A boy carries invisible worries and learns to unpack them one by one. See how it can give you a really good story idea, and you can run away with that. I bet I'll be thinking about that one now all night. Infuse your values, love for nature. So I won't read through the rest of these because this is going to be all very personal to you. And as I said, with ChatGPT, as you ask a question, it will ask a question back, and you can go as deep as you want. You can go down a rabbit hole, and you should, if you're feeling prompted in yourself to ask something else, keep going. So it's asking here, would you like help with a custom template to brainstorm your life into book ideas? So this is really good because if it gives me a little template, I can start filling that in, turning one personal story into a full concept. So if I had something that happened that I felt, okay, this could really be a good story concept, I can put that story in. It doesn't have to be perfect, just put it in your own voice and it will come up with ideas and a spread, finding a unique author voice. And then prompt number 4 is all about taking your first step. So what's a small, achievable first project that I could complete in 1 to 2 weeks to get started as a children's book author? So it's going to give me, or it has given me, a mini project: create a 4-page children's story mock-up. So this mini book is a bite-sized version of a picture book, perfect to get your feet wet, test your ideas, and feel like a real author illustrator. Goal: so write and design a 4-page illustrated story concept that shows your style, tone, and voice. So it's going to give you a breakdown into your timeline overview. So give a realistic timeline yourself. If you think over 1 month, if you think, okay, I could do this in a week, just whatever timeline works for you, it's going to break it down into your days. So day 1 to 2, brainstorm your idea and pick a story concept. Day 3 to 4, write the draft, 100 to 200 words total. Days 5 to 7, refine the writing and layout into 4 spreads. 8 to 10, illustrate or mock up visuals, hand-drawn from Procreate or Canva, or this is where I might give it to a professional illustrator to illustrate. 11 to 14, polish and export as a mini PDF for presentation. So your story can be about a child discovering something magical, an animal with a quirky personality, a gentle lesson, a visual poem using your nature-inspired art. So you can see how it goes on and on with the ideas are endless. It is amazing. I'm definitely coming back to this and going deeper myself, because I'm not going to bore you with this, because this might not be your interest or your passion. So remember, pop in your passion and keep asking the questions. These prompts are just to get you started, and you don't even have to do these prompts, do your own prompts, but it's just, if you give yourself, block out this time of 30 minutes. So remember, creativity is not reserved for the selected, chosen few. You are creative. You just need the right tools and the right mindset to unlock it. So whether you want to write stories for children, design your own product, start your own business, or just create anything beautiful, remember, you can do it. Please let me know in the comments what your dreams are. Put it out there, why not? And I'll help you craft the perfect prompt to get you started. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you got something out of it. And start straight away with your prompts. Keep going, keep dreaming big. And if you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon in the next video. Bye.